Well, good morning, Tubies. It's Psychic Bob. I'm up early today. Decided to get up and watch the sunrise. And I probably should have taken a camera out and filmed it for you guys. But anyways, I wasn't really awake. I just stumbled up and felt like I need to go out and get some fresh air. And anyways, I did watch the sunrise. And you know, when you get up early, you get so much more stuff done. I've already, done all my laundry. Got it all sorted out. Went through all my emails. Oh my God, I got so much. I went out and had breakfast. I'm telling you, it's really, you get up early, you get a lot done. Anyways, I'm just glad you're here and welcome to Friday. It's UFO Friday. That's right. You guys have all been writing, says, Psychic Bob, we want UFO Friday. And I'm hearing you. By the way, I want to say thank you. Speaking of hearing you guys, yesterday, as many of you have been requesting, you said, Psychic Bob, we love your singing. And I did singing in yesterday's video. So if you didn't see yesterday's video, it was a Vlog Thursday video. We went out and had some lunch and looked at the Sun Lord and talked about mystical things. So if you haven't seen that, check that out. It's in the queue right before this one. Well, here it is, UFO Friday. And I tell you, I couldn't let this Friday go by without discussing this amazing topic. If any of you have been following the news, you will discover that in the last few days, the United States Department of the Navy, the U.S. military, officially announced that footage that their fighter planes caught on camera, their film footage, what appears to be UFOs, they're now officially releasing and saying these look like they are actually UFOs, not of this world. Now, the official statement, because they always have to put a caveat around it, is that, well, they don't appear to be of origins that we can identify. So they're kind of making it out saying, well, it could be a foreign government's things, or it could be just something we don't know. But listen, I'm telling you as a psychic, they caught real UFOs on tape. Now, for those of you who haven't seen that famous footage, I'm going to put links below. I need to get some software so I can start incorporating actual footage, film footage, into my videos. I don't have a program right now that does that, so unfortunately I can't do that. But I'm going to get some programs. If any of you guys have any good video programs you recommend that I can incorporate outside film footage into my video, I'd love to hear about it. Anyways, but I'll have a link below for that. But I want to kind of talk about this because the thing is that you see the footage that you see is really quite shocking. Now, I was studying the films, and it looks like what they've captured on film are what we call the classic saucer-shaped UFOs. Now, I'm not 100% sure of that because on some of the films, they look like they're kind of an oval shape, like a Tic Tac candy. You know that little candy called Tic Tacs? It's like a little kind of pill. On some of the film footage, it looks like they're like a pill-shaped UFO. But I've seen some other angles where you can see it's more of a saucer-shaped craft, and it has a kind of a bubble on the top. And I think that they are actually saucers, from what I can tell looking at the films. Now, what's really interesting, if they are saucers, that kind of gives us a little bit of identifying information as to who could be piloting those craft. Well, if we study the UFO phenomenon, the history over time, most of the sightings of extraterrestrials, alien beings who have arrived in saucers tend to be of a very specific race. They tend to be Pleiadian or Pleiadian descent. What am I talking about? Well, there's the star system, the Pleiades, out there in space, the Seven Sisters. We see it in our night sky. And it is believed that the aliens who inhabited our Earth in the early days of its creation were from the stars. They were Pleiadians. In fact, all humans are actually Pleiadian. You are a Pleiadian. I am a Pleiadian. Now, we call ourselves Earth people, but if we go back far enough, our descendants trace to the stars. And back in the 1950s, there was a lot of visitations from outer space. And not all, but the majority, let's say, of people that encountered aliens during especially in the 1950s, right after World War II, into the 1950s up to the 60s, encountered aliens who literally looked just like you and I. They could walk down the street, you would never even know that they were from another world. These Pleiadian descendants came not only from the Pleiades, but also from the planet Venus and the planet Mars. So those planets have life forms that are humanoid. And they would always arrive in these little saucer craft. And these saucer could go out, they would land in the desert, they'd come out, meet with people, and then go back. Some people are saying, oh, is that the gray aliens that are flying this? I don't believe it is. Because whenever people have had encounters with the gray aliens, they've always been on giant ships, like giant triangular craft, or some of them have had oval-shaped craft, but they've been much larger than the saucer craft. The saucer craft are predominantly associated with the Pleiadians, the Martians, and the Venusians. So I believe that those craft that we are seeing are piloted by one of those alien races, which, if they were to land those saucers that we see in that footage, out would step people who look literally exactly like us. The only difference is many of the Pleiadians and their descendants are a little taller than humans, whereas humans, like at a tall end, about our spectrum is like 6 feet. Some of the Pleiadians and the Martians and the Venusians tend to be like 7 feet tall. So they're quite a bit taller, but really they could still walk down any American street and just be thought of as a very tall person. So this is who I believe are behind the craft. Now, what's very fascinating to me is that if you recall, and I've said it a few times, but back at the beginning of this year when I released my annual 2019 predictions, I said that this year is going to be a major year in UFO sightings, and I said what it's all leading up to is eventually there'll be a revelation that there are aliens visiting the Earth. Official release by the United States government or some other major governments, and America will eventually come out and say it as well. I believe we're getting very close to that. And what's interesting is for the Navy to actually release that footage is just the beginning of testing the waters. They're putting it out there. See, this is all orchestrated, okay? Now hear me out. They, first of all the military people already know that they're alien beings. A lot of the high-ranking military officers, the generals and such like that, Joint Chiefs of Staff, it's not even a mystery to them. They've even met aliens face to face and had discussions. So the fact is that the alien presence is already known. But what's happening is at least in the United States, the government is testing the waters. Now that they've got that footage, and by the way, this is not the first time the military's gotten UFO footage. This is just one of thousands and thousands of films. But they've decided to take this film because it's really captured the public attention and put the word out there that this might be real. Now, they already know. But what's really interesting is the buzz that it's creating all over the Earth. So people are writing me from all over the world. Right now, I'm getting a lot of letters, and people say, Psychic Bob, did you see the UFO footage? Oh my God, oh my God. And, even though I think it's great, it's fascinating footage, it doesn't really shock me. I've seen other footage that's just as amazing, some of it even better, really, than what was released. But the fact is that the military, the high-ranking officers, have given permission, explicit permission, for this to be released. What does it tell us? We are getting very, very close, as I have always said, to revealing the truth. Now, some of you are going to say, oh my God, Bobby, it really is true then. And the answer is yes. Now, some of you, I know this is going to create a panic. Some of you say, oh my God, I really didn't think that was real. What does it mean to life? Oh my God. Listen, first of all, let me tell you something. Don't panic. The aliens are not dangers. Well, at least the ones we're encountering at the moment. The gray aliens, they're iffy. That's a whole different video. But these aliens in this footage, I believe, are Pleiadian or a descendant of that. The Pleiadians are known as the Nordics as well. That's their common name, the Nordics, because they're generally tall, white-skinned, blonde, blue-eyed. They look like the people of Norway. And I believe the people of Norway actually are much more closely related to the Pleiadians than many parts of the Earth. So they're kind of like the race of humans that is the closest related to the aliens. But assuming that we are encountering the Nordics, what does that mean for us? Well, it means that they're just our elder brethren. They are really our genetic family. They're just like us, except they have a few characteristics that I think are really admirable and something that we could all aspire to. The Nordic aliens, the Pleiadians, the Martians, the Venusians, have overcome the tendency towards violence and war. Their societies, from all accounts that people have encountered them and from the research I've done, are actually very superior to ours. They're superior in their technology, but they're also superior in the way they handle technology. What's interesting is that the Pleiadians and the Martians have told Earth people that they were once like us. They were a warring people. There's still, on one level, kind of a war going on, a galactic war, but that's another story. But as a people, they no longer fight amongst themselves. Now, what's really fascinating is many alien encounters with these Nordic beings. They have told people, especially those from Mars, that Mars was once a lush paradise. It was once a forested planet with lush greenery, jungles, very luxurious. But according to the Martians, they had a war amongst themselves, a nuclear war, and the entire planet was annihilated. The Martians who survived it went underground. And even now there are evidences appearing on Mars by the Mars rover that there was perhaps a civilization there. Now, we've been saying this long before Mars rover ever went there. Many people have encountered them, as well as psychics who have done remote viewing have seen that there was life on Mars, at least on the surface. And now there's life on Mars, but it's below the surface. Excuse me. So what I'm trying to say is these beings are advanced in that they don't believe in violence. They don't believe in war. They are not a threat to us, okay? So I want you to kind of think about that, because their hope for us is that we will step up in our evolution and learn to make war no more. They have seen the devastation of nuclear annihilation. And they know that the Earth could very well go that way. And so they're watching cautiously, patiently, and hoping that we will set down our weapons of mass destruction. And we will learn to use that energy that we put into war to put it into advancement of civilization. That is what it's all about. Now, the military knows this, but the military is at absolute odds with the Pleiadians. In fact, I hate to say it, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I believe, unfortunately, that because of the military-industrial complex, their need for war is for profit. They will portray the most friendly of aliens, such as the Nordics, the Pleiadians, the Martians, the Venusians, as somehow threats to America, threats to national security. Haven't we all heard that buzzword? And the truth is that nothing could be further from the truth. But the military knows that the evidence is mounting that there is life out there and that people are no longer ignoring this. They're watching the films. Now with places like YouTube, information is being disseminated. So the truth is the military finds themselves in a quandary because they're going to have to deal with this. Now, as a psychic, I have told you that in 2019, we're going to see such an escalation that very soon we're going to have more, some type of announcement. I believe the naval announcement is just the kind of the edging towards that. I don't think we'll have it yet. But in 2020, we're going to continue this trend of increased sightings. And I believe in 2020, we're going to see a lot more governments start to release these files. The conversation as a planet is really going to start up in earnest over the next year. So be watching. This is all leading to full-scale disclosure. Whether it happens in 2020 or the next year, 2021, I can tell you we are not far from it. But I want to caution you, don't believe everything the government or the military tells you, because they have an interest in having them be the enemy. And really, they're not the enemy. So hear it here first, if you haven't heard it anywhere. They are not the enemy. They will be our friends in the end, and possibly the saviors of this planet if we start getting really crazy with weapons and nuclear weapons. So, please see the video link in the description box below. You'll get a sense of the film footage that's being talked about. And let me know what you think. I'll put a few pictures here at the end of some saucer craft that you might enjoy seeing. But definitely see the link for the latest video footage, okay? It'll be in the info box below this video. Well, guys, listen, I'm going to keep it short. PsychicBob has a full day of readings. Thank you to all of you who are calling for readings. We are taking bookings for next week now. We're already filled up through the weekend. But if you want to get on my schedule, give me a call, 703-825-3929. We'll get you on for next week, okay? Do call. If you wait till next week, we might be full, so you need to call now. And we'll get you on the schedule for a private reading. You can also write to me at my official email, which link will be below, PsychicBobHickman@gmail.com. See that below. All right, so give me a call. Write to me. Let's connect. Tell me in the comments box below, what do you think about the UFO footage? Does it look like saucers to you? What do you think? Do you think it's Pleiadians? What are your thoughts about the Navy's release of this footage? And what do you think it means? I want to hear your thoughts. Anyways, guys, thanks for being here. Happy Friday. Be back here tomorrow and Saturday. Now, normally we do our Saturday class and seance, but tomorrow is Maybon. I say it the French way. I think it's Maybon. But I say Maybon as I speak French. We're going to talk about Maybon tomorrow. We're going to change it up just a little bit because it's a special time. So be here tomorrow. We're going to talk about Maybon, and I look forward to being with you guys. You guys are best. I love you. Put your comments below. Oh, by the way, like this video, favorite it, share it with your friends, and hit subscribe. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Until then, may all of you always blessed be.